This week's toastface drinking game is brought to you by Duck. Have you ever wanted duck? It's made of duck. For whenever you want duck. Duck. If you want duck, swallow duck. This week's drinking game is whenever Topher or Monica says, fucked it into you, take a drink. That's right. Anytime you hear fucked it into you or a derivative thereof, go ahead and swallow up. Enjoy, and rejoice as This week's Toastface drinking game is brought to you... Take 3. Take 2. Shit.
Toastface Podcast.
Toastface.
Toastface
We're gonna
Podcast.
pod some cast.
Toastface
We're gonna
Podcast.
toast some face.
Toastface
We're
Podcast.
gonna pod some cast out.
Welcome to the Toastface Podcast. My name is Topher Owen,
Monica.
and together we are Toastface. This is our podcast where we talk about our top 50 movies, the top 50 movies that you just gotta see if you're one of the two of us.
Yes.
This podcast is based off of another podcast called Craigslist, which is created by Craig and Carla Kakowski.
Kakowski.
Go and check out that podcast because it rocks. And we will be discussing movies here, and we will be discussing them as if you have seen them.
We're movie ruiners.
We are going to be doling out the spoilers
Did you say doling?
as if we were jolly ice cream salesmen scooping out heaping helpings of you never saw that coming until we said it, aka spoilers. So last week we talked about The Incredibles.
We did.
And
we discussed the hell out of The Incredibles.
we sure did. It was fun. And once again, I have no clarifications.
Toastface clarifications.
How is that possible?
Here's
Choked
how-
myself.
Here's how it was possible. We were perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. When have you ever achieved perfection other than last week?
Yesterday.
It's true. She did. It was a bright, glimmering moment.
Probably later tonight.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
You know,
It's all second nature to you.
ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
And then Monica said, ain't no thing but a chicken wang. How many chicken wangs have you seen?
How many chicken wings does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll?
Go ahead and email us the answer to any of those questions at tophandmon@gmail.com. That's Toph, T-O-P-H, and A-N-D, Mon, M-O-N, at gmail.com.
There's so much spelling
Yeah,
involved.
there's a lot. There is a lot. So this week we're talking about The Witch, except we already talked about The Witch.
We're not.
That movie is an awesome movie, and it just won't die. We've gone through so many movies so far, and we're still talking about it.
We just said we weren't going to talk about it.
All right, you're right. So I had already chosen The Witch, and so this The Witch was your movie that went
It
in
was
this
my number
position.
46.
And instead,
But I chose an alternate, which was not as good,
not as good.
but I enjoyed it still. Topher did not.
Well, I don't know. We'll talk about it.
It Follows.
It Follows. So can you tell us a little bit about what It Follows is?
Yeah, it's a creepy, scary movie. I love the way it's told, but it's just kind of about an entity of some kind that latches onto you when you've had sex with someone to whom it is already latched. The end. And it doesn't run. It doesn't jump out at you. You can, if you're looking, see it coming very far away. It's very slow. You can get away from it really easily.
It's sort of like a zombie in that it keeps coming after you.
But it's just always there. Like you can go really far away and eventually it's going to find you.
Yeah. And then
So-
once it finds you, it's going to kill you.
And then you die. Yeah. And then it goes back and kills the person that fucked it into you.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm Monica.
So, what is it about this movie that makes it a movie that you can watch over and over again?
Well, this was the third time I've seen it, and I don't know. I think I just every time I find it more and more intriguing. What was I saying? Oh, it's more intriguing the more I watch it. I love the way it's shot. I love the look of it. I guess is it the art direction, the
Sure, yeah.
costuming, and the scenery and all that. And it has a very 70s vibe, but with a super sharp current edge to it.
Mm-hmm.
The clothing, even the underwear, is very 70s.
Yeah.
The coloring, the houses, the vehicles.
The weird little reader that she's got, too. It's
But then there's, super current stuff that doesn't even actually exist.
Shut the fuck up. God damn it.
Cat. That's Mr. Man. You met Izzy a couple episodes ago. This is
Fucking
Mr. Man. And we'll just take a moment. Mr. Man is named Mr. Man because everyone kept bugging me about what his name was going to be. This guy was given to me. It was delightful. I like to spend a minute with an animal before I give it a name. But everybody was like, have you named him? What's his name? Have you named the cat? And I just instinctively had been calling him Mr. Man along with many other silly, whatever you call something that doesn't have a name yet.
Sure.
And then I said, fine, his name is fucking Mr. Man. And it has since come to represent also Eminem, as in
Mr. Man.
or.
Marshall Mathers.
Yes. Also Mr. Manderson, which I think your mother.
Mr. Manderson. That's how you have to say it, too.
You do, every time. Except
Mr.
I didn't.
Manderson.
I broke the rules because I'm a rebel like that.
I'm pretty sure Jason came up with that one.
I thought it was your mom, for reals.
My mother wouldn't come up with that because that's from The Matrix.
You're so right. What was I even thinking?
Yeah.
That was definitely Jason.
It was definitely
because
Jason.
he's rad like that.
Yeah.
I knew a guy named Rad. Anyway, so
I think I knew a Rad, too.
it was probably the same Rad
It was the sequel to your Rad. It was Rad 2, Electric Boogaloo.
or Rod. The sequel to Rad is Rod.
The sequel to Rod is Red. We'll just go through vowels.
All the vowels. Rud.
Where were we?
That's Paul.
You were saying about we said something about the reader, and then I flipped out on the cat.
Right.
The
Okay.
reader.
So it's got a real 70s vibe, but then it has this super technological futury things that don't even exist now.
Yeah.
She has a little compact, like a makeup compact that looks like a seashell, a clam shell, and opens it up and it's like a Kindle or something,
Yeah.
but in a weird figure 8 shape because
Yeah.
of the seashell shape. It's not very practical, but it was kind of cool. Anyway, yeah. So I've enjoyed watching it over and over because I see more, I notice more. I love the pace of the movie.
It takes its time.
Yeah, and you do actually kind of get to experience the entity. I don't even know what else to call it. But a lot of the movie is just in anticipation of
Mm-hmm.
dealing with, and it never really gets that close, up for a long time. But it's so intense and so creepy.
And what is your favorite scene
Hmm.
in this here movie?
I knew that was going to be a question. I probably should have thought about it. My favorite scene. This is going to be really strange. So the first one that popped in my head is she's in the pool in her backyard, just a little above ground pool, just hanging out, chilling. And all of a sudden she looks up and she says, "I see you." And the two neighbor boys who are middle school age pop up from behind the bushes and run away because they've been watching her.
They've been discovered.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I really like that little. That's how long it is.
Yeah.
Just that, however long it took me to say that. And then I think I also really like when she's first told about what's happening to her. The dude who gave it to her,
In the wheelchair
dude
that
who
she's
fucked
in.
it under. Yeah, he's got her. He knocked her out. I mean, it's horrible. He's a horrible person. But I love that scene in this old abandoned parking structure, and he's got her strapped in the wheelchair, and he's trying to explain to her, and he's running all around, looking out into the dark, and
Yeah.
I enjoy that explanation of what was happening. It was good. It's a good
Yeah.
scene. So tell us your thoughts about the film.
Well, I really enjoyed this movie the first time I saw it, and I was really excited to see it a second time. And between my first and second viewings, I read reviews.
That was dumb.
Yeah, for this one it really was, because I think what happened to me is what happens to you when you're in high school and you enjoy reading quite a bit, and then your teacher says,
Read the bell jar.
read the bell jar and know all the symbolism and read it 18,000 times and give me an essay on why she commits suicide. And suddenly your joy of reading has completely been shot.
Yeah, that's why I never read reviews.
This movie is really great. It lends itself to being interpreted so many different ways.
Yeah.
Because we never know what it is.
Oh.
It follows, but we don't really know what it is. Is it a zombie? Is it a vampire? Is it an otherworldly thing? Is it a god? Is it something else? And so there are a whole bunch of people out there that love to get in on the action with their pseudo-psychology that they fucking think they have, and they don't. They're a bunch of misfit fucks. That's right. Look, this podcast, up until this point, has been just fine. And the movie it follows has been a quite pleasant experience. But all the people who ruined this movie for me, you can go fuck the right off as far as I'm concerned, because I liked this movie, and then I read your drivel, and now I don't like this movie. You know what you did? You brought negativity into the world, and shame on you. Just shame on you. There were some stupid morons. I'm still going. There's some stupid morons who thought that it was a movie about sexually transmitted diseases. You know how much fun it is to watch this creepy movie when you're thinking in the back of your head, oh, this might be a treatise on sexually transmitted diseases. It's bullshit is what it is. Or even more specifically, AIDS. People who are fucking freaked out by AIDS are like, this movie is about AIDS. No, it's not. It's not. Then there's somebody else out there who said, this movie is about rape. Sexual rape. And then they go through all the reasons.
It's not funny. I'm sorry. I was not laughing
No,
at
it was. I know. It was the way that I said it that you were giggling at. I said it in a way to intentionally elicit a laugh, because I am grumpy about all the stuff that I read. But this movie really is quite delightful.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not fair that the movie got ruined for me. I'm cranky about that.
I keep telling you to stop reading. I don't know why you haven't picked up on my
It's
good
so
idea.
much. It's so much better when you go into it and it could be anything at all, and it is just
like the entity. Oh, that's what you're talking.
yeah. Yes, we are on the same page now.
Capital it.
The it in the title, It Follows, could be anything at all, and that's how this movie should be watched.
Yeah.
It should be watched.
With no expectation. We had no expectations the first time we saw it. And I hated the ending the first time we saw it. I hate
Yeah.
endings like that.
Yeah.
Now, I like it. It's appropriate. It's exactly the way it should have ended.
Yeah.
Of course, they kind of know what they're doing, I would imagine.
Yeah. This was an independent film, so it doesn't go without saying that they knew what they were doing. They might have just gotten lucky.
That's true.
But they did the way that it was written and filmed and directed. It gained a lot of my trust
It was tasty.
up front, and the slow pans that the camera does, the way the camera almost moves like one of the creatures does.
Mm-hmm. Now you're getting deep, babe.
No.
A little bit. I mean, not a little bit.
I'm as deep as a toot. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, dear.
What? I just didn't want to get deep anymore.
Yeah. It took a turn.
Did it?
It did.
Or did it take a turn?
I don't even know what's happening right now.
So would you like to try some buttery toast face jams?
Oh, sure.
Buttery Toast Face Jams is the segment of the podcast where we reenact our favorite scene. So, Monica, what is your favorite scene in It Follows?
Oh, well, I guess it would be the car park. The parking structure scene.
That's your favorite scene?
Well, no, I mean, the first one. I mean, I don't know. Yes, they're equally favorite.
Choose one, and we'll do it.
I just said. I chose it.
Okay.
You questioned my choice.
I was clarifying. I wanted to make sure that I understood correctly. So what I understand correctly is that we're doing the car park scene.
Sure.
Okay.
So many names for that.
Are you going to be the lady?
Sure.
What is her name?
Nobody knows.
What's the dude's name?
Dude that raped me.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Buttery Toast Face Jams. It follows. Wake up.
What's going on?
You're tied to a
Wait.
wheelchair.
Why am I tied to the wheelchair?
I just fucked it into it.
What?
I just fucked it into you.
What are you talking about?
Look, can you see over there
This is
beyond?
not okay.
Let me push you around. That's the sound of the pushing.
It's an electric wheelchair.
Do you see out there?
No, there's just darkness.
There's a naked lady out there.
Why is she naked?
Titties.
What is happening to me?
That lady is going to come and kill you.
Why would you want to do such a thing?
Because she wanted to come and kill me until I fucked it into you.
Oh!
And-
Why did I think fucking you was a good idea?
Because I have a hung schlong.
Oh, yes.
Look, all you got to do is fuck it into somebody else, and then it will go and kill them. But they have to fuck it into somebody else, because if they get killed, then that naked lady will come after you. And it could be anybody. It maybe isn't always a naked lady. Maybe it's a naked man.
Thank goodness.
It could be a naked cat.
What the fuck?
It could be a divan.
What's it doing?
It's something you sit on, and then it fucks it into you.
Everyone should have one of those.
It's true. It's very true. Listen, let's not get chummy here.
Of course. What am I thinking? Why is this happening to me?
Let me give your boobie just a little squeeze before I go.
Why is this happening to me?
Let me. Oh wait, no, I have to. I have to roll you back into the car. I'm rolling you back into the car.
It's getting too close.
We're running, and it'll move slowly. It always moves slowly, but
My
it
battery is dying.
knows where. I gotta cut you loose. And now I'm putting you in the car.
Why is this happening to me?
That's me giving you a little booby squeeze again.
From the car. And scene.
I loved your Katharine Hepburn there. Why is this happening to me? Why?
Or Jimmy Stewart.
Mary.
Oh, there you go. There's Jimmy.
Mary, why is this happening to me? Mary, did you fuck this into me?
Have we done this before?
Mary.
Or is that just in her regular everyday
Mary,
life?
it follows what? What, Mary? Does it follow? Does it follow my ding dong, Mary? I put that into you. I also put it into an oak tree, Mary.
Ooh.
What else needs to be said about it follows?
Just got a lot of things to work out today.
It's an antsy session of Toast Face Podcast.
I think we are on to what your number 46 movie is now
Yeah.
that I get to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, we're starting to get into I'm trepid.
Trepid?
Sure. Go with say yes. I'm trepid
Yes.
about this movie. I don't know if
Yes.
you're going to hate it. I know you're going to hate the next one.
I will always love you.
This game has been fun up until now.
What is it?
The Big Blue.
I love this movie.
Oh, thank God.
What?
I couldn't remember if you actually liked it or
Yeah.
if you just thought it was pretty and you were like, I hate this
Yeah.
story.
That's possible, but there are movies I like just because of the way they look.
All right. Well, this is a very pretty movie, in my opinion.
It is a pretty movie.
It starts out black and white, and it's gorgeous, and then it moves into color, and it's gorgeous.
What if I said you're gorgeous?
Well, then I'd have to take you to bed or lose you forever. So we're going to go off and watch The Big Blue. You go off and watch The Big Blue, and we'll see you back
Is it
here.
available on the DVDs or the Blu-rays?
Thank you for asking that question. So here's the story behind that. The Big Blue was released as a French movie first.
Should we save this for?
Oh, sure.
Just is it available for people to watch?
Yes. The boring answer is yes. It's available to watch. An international version is available on DVD. The American version is not available on DVD. It's only available on VHS. And if you have it, keep a hold of it because it's worth about $150.
Only if somebody will pay that.
Right, exactly. I personally think that the soundtrack to the American version is far superior than the soundtrack to the international version.
That happens sometimes.
But I actually think that the movie version of the international cut is superior to the American version. So we're going to watch the DVD.
Cool.
So we're going to watch the DVD of The Big Blue or Le Grand Bleu. You go off and watch Le Grand Bleu, and we'll see you next week.
Woo!
The end.
Toastface
We're gonna toast some face.
Toastface
We're gonna pod some cast.
Toastface
We're gonna toast some face.